evening and a very warm welcome to everyone logged in. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Antonia Albuquerque from the Corporate Affairs team, and I will be your host for this virtual kickoff of Flipkart's B School Campus Challenge WiRED 7.0. Since its inception in 2007, Flipkart has been known to be a market disruptor. It is India's leading e-commerce marketplace that offers more than 100 million products to 150 million customers. In 2019, LinkedIn ranked Flipkart number one in the top companies people want to work with in India. In 2021, Flipkart was certified as a great place to work, and in true Flipkart style, we've now maximized to number 11 amongst India's best companies to work for in 2022, only in our second year of participating in the GPTW recognitions. And we're not done yet. Our journey of empowering every Indian's dream has only begun. WiRED is going to contribute to it in more ways than one. Crowned as India's number one B School competition for 2 years now, it is back with its 7th edition that not only empowers dreams of every B Schooler to maximize their careers, but also provides them a chance to fuel their dreams of million others with their ideas. Moving forward in the same direction, we invite you to think of ideas that empower dreams in the 7th edition of WiRED. So all B Schoolers attending the session today, are you ready to empower yourself and others by embarking on this journey of WiRED 7.0? Let's begin. But before we listen to our esteemed panel of leaders, let's see how the last edition went and what this edition brings to the table. Can we have the videos, please?
For us at Flipkart, we strongly believe that in order to maximize, we need to synergize, which is why the theme this year is leveraging the power of one.
We are very happy that Flipkart has given us an opportunity to present our supply chain idea in front of the global leaders.
The kind of ideas we were able to experience over here were massive.
It has been quite motivating for us to be here in presence of such good teams and learn many things from the ideas.
We've been active in multiple competitions, but WiRED was very special.
It has been a very good experience.
And if I had to describe WiRED in one word, that would be full of fun and excitement.
And I can confidently say that
Our ideas maximize.
That was wonderfully captured. Like last year, we are excited to host the grand finale of our event at our ever buzzing Flipkart campus in Bangalore. I know all of you are excited and eager to join us here for the grand finale on 26 September and experience the true essence of Flipkart. But before that, it is important to prove your mettle in all the preceding rounds. And trust me, we have a lot in store for you throughout. Now, to begin, I would like to introduce our esteemed panel from Flipkart. Joining us live today are Zain Inhonvi, Head University Relations, Ishmeet, Senior Manager Talent Branding, Satyam Chaudhary, Chief of Staff Supply Chain, Shailendra Chaturvedi, Associate Director Customer Insights and Research, Nikhil Mangsule, Associate Director Rewards, Srinivas SG, Group Product Manager. Audience, may I remind you that if any of you have questions for our panelists, feel free to use the chat option available and send in your questions. Please mention who you would like to address the question to. We will take up as many questions as time permits towards the end of the kickoff. Without further ado, let me invite our first speaker. While Sumit was supposed to join us today, he had some other emergency and could not join us. Instead, we have Zain from the University Relations team, and I would like to invite him on screen now. Over to you, Zain.
Thank you so much, Antonia. And what a wonderful theme, idea that empower, right? So I'll take a few minutes to, first of all, thank all of you who have joined us today. It's a pleasure to interact with bright minds across B schools who join in after classes, spending time participating in contests such as WiRED and others, right? Thank you so much for being here. WiRED holds a special place in my heart. I've been part of 4 editions of WiRED out of the 7, and the 7th is a special one. 7 is always special. We started in 2017 with a dream that we'll make WiRED one of the best B schools contests that's out there, and we achieved that. WiRED has been judged as the #1 B school case study challenge across B schools for 2 years in a row now, and we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for this appreciation, and it only empowers us to grow bigger. To set the context, when we started in 2017, WiRED was open only to a small cohort of 7 campuses, and from there, year on year, we have increased or maximized our reach. And it was a year back that we made it open to all campuses. 2021 was the edition where we said that let's open it across to all campuses, and from there we've touched newer heights. We've launched new tracks. So this year also you have 4 tracks, which is your business, HR, supply chain, and product. We got a lot of entries in product last year and this year also, and we have tried to ensure that we give you back a lot of other opportunities apart from placement offers. So as we continue in this journey and you hear from different speakers, you'll find out what's in store. So be confident, hit it out of the park, and treat WiRED as your gateway to success. Through programs like WiRED, Flipkart's aim is to tap into talent across and give you those opportunities. For those of you who, many of you, I believe, most of you are our customers, right? Flipkart is solving problems at a very huge scale into almost like our user base is around, say, 400 million. So you can understand the scale, and that is the immersion that you can expect when you participate in WiRED. You'll be impacting so many things that the Indian shopper experiences, and your ideas will make things kind of change altogether. So without further ado, I would again just like to call out one last time that we've got 1 day to go for WiRED registrations. Please ensure that you ask your friends, colleagues to participate. We've tried to ensure that you can register in teams across colleges, which will help you synergize better and come out with the best ideas. You can participate tracks as well, right? So a lot of opportunities, and with this, handing it over back to Antonia to take it forward.
Thank you so much, Zin. This really sets the tone well for us to embark on the journey of Wired 7.0, where ideas empower dreams. Speaking of which, I would like to invite Ishmeet to throw some light on how this statement is going to come to life via Wired this year. Over to you, Ishmeet.
Thanks, Antonia. Hi, everyone. Great to meet all of you today. So let me take you on a brief history of Wired, before we come to this year's theme itself. So when Wired was first incepted 7 years ago, the idea that we had in our mind is that how do we give the authentic Flipkart experience to everyone from campus who participates in Wired. So we never wanted to be an organization that is going to give an arbitrary problem statement or an arbitrary case study and judge your acumen on that. It was always going to be real things, real problems that we are working on as an organization ourselves, right? Um, and that's the base of how Wired was first started, and in all these 7 editions that has been true. And now coming to this theme, right? Ideas that empower dreams. Uh, it starts right at our purpose as an organization. So Flipkart's purpose is empowering every Indian's dream by delivering value through innovation in technology and commerce, right? And let me go a little bit deeper into that, because empowering every Indian, right? That's a big thing. That's a big, tall ask that we work towards every day. So it's not just our customers that get empowered by our products or our selection, but it is also sellers who are getting access to a much larger market through the platform of Flipkart. It is also, our employees and wishmasters who are getting an opportunity at an income at living their own life on their own terms with pride. Every Indian also stands for the communities that we operate in. Today, Flipkart is a highly CSR oriented organization where we have an entire foundation through which we give back a lot to the society that we also take from. So it's about, whatever we do at Flipkart therefore is designed to empower every Indian or every stakeholder that we ever work with. And how do we essentially do that? We do that by first delivering value. Flipkart is a platform that has always been hyper value focused, right? We want to give the best possible value to our customers, to our sellers, to even employees, and to all of you as well, right? That's why you have the EGBs. That's why delivering value is internships and full time opportunities, but also live projects. That's something new that's coming this year, right? And how do we deliver value? Essentially is through innovation in technology and commerce, and that's the base of this organization. We are behind some of the biggest innovations in technology, in the area of commerce, whether it be a cash on delivery, whether it be something like buy now pay later, video commerce, so on and so forth, right? There are multiple innovations that Flipkart is known for, and that's how we do our business. And starting at this purpose is where we wanted to design this year's theme. So if Flipkart's purpose is empowering every Indian's dream, then it is your ideas, your solutions to the case studies that we give to you that are going to help us move towards our purpose. And therefore, it is your ideas that are going to empower India's dreams. Now, you will see this reflect in each of the case studies, that you will get to know about today. Each of them will have problem statements, in different areas that help us work better as an organization for our stakeholders, that is every Indian. And therefore, when you think of your ideas, don't think of them simply as solutions. Think of them as ideas that are going to empower someone at the end of this platform. And that's what this year's Wired is going to be all about. And that's it from me. Thanks, Antonia. Back to you.
That was a powerful and purposeful message indeed. I'm sure Wired 7.0 is going to fuel Flipkart's journey in achieving its North Star of empowering every Indian's dream. Um, Up next, I would like to invite Satyam to share details on the supply chain track, wherein we're super excited to hear from you, Satyam. Over to you.
Super excited to be here today. Looking forward to the Wired 7.0. And as Ishmeet shared, we are presenting to you the problem statements and the dilemmas that we as supply chain arm of Flipkart deal with on day-to-day basis. This year's case study is going to focus on last mile network design. It's going to put you in the driving seat. It's going to put in front of you the challenges that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. It's going to put you to solve the dilemmas that we face as we drive Flipkart supply chain. And it's going to push you to be innovative, to think in multiple dimensions at the same time, and to really think through the interlinkages, how your decisions have a cascading impact upstream and downstream in the supply chain, right? How the choices and the decisions being made in one corner and one part of the organization have massive impact on customers, massive impact on sellers, massive impact on associates and employees who make the supply chain run and who make this Flipkart ecosystem hum on a day-to-day basis. So I'm sure you'll find this exciting. I'm sure if you show this case study to anybody who works in supply chain, hopefully they'll be able to tell you that, yeah, this is what working in supply chain is all about. These are the dilemmas, these are the trade-offs that you would face if you choose to pursue a career in supply chain and logistics. So our goal in this case study is to give you that real feel of the business, the choices in front of the business, and the priorities that we have to set in the business in order to deliver what we have set out to deliver for all the stakeholders across the value chain, and make this value chain work for everybody. Piece of it. What you will be working on is a last mile network design problem statement, and we have given you a brief of how Flipkart supply chain is organized, how we look at supply chain, and so on and so forth, to help you build a little bit of a context on that front. And we have also given you a peep into what are the major things that we care about, what are the major constraints that we deal with. I hope you find it exciting enough to pick it up, to go deeper in understanding the issues in the supply chain that we have highlighted, deeper to pick up and go deeper into some of the trade-offs. What's the theory behind it? What's the practical aspect of it? And so on and so forth, part of it. In the end, the recommendation that I have for you is keep your solutions grounded. Think broadly about how your choices are impacting the whole value chain, not just the part that you are looking at. It's very, very important that you look to the left, to the right, and appreciate how these choices are going to impact customer, how these choices are going to impact the seller, and how these choices are going to impact the business at the same time. So that's going to put you in a little bit of a pickle. You'll have to decide how to prioritize these impacts, how to quantify this impact, how to evaluate it from a business lens, how to keep interests of all the stakeholders in mind while making a recommendation. And hopefully through that, on this journey, you will also have a few eureka moments where you figure out ways to break these trade-offs structurally, where you can find ways that, hey, it doesn't need to be win-lose. Can you create a win-win situation where we can make it work for all the stakeholders involved and make everybody's lives better? Right? So that's what you will be dealing with in this case study. Right? Couple of hints or guidelines, or however you may choose to take it. Do look beyond your own immediate environment and your own personal experiences. India is a very diverse country. Our customer base is very diverse. Our employee base Our associates are a very diverse set. Our sellers are a very diverse set. Our sellers would be first-time entrepreneurs to all the way, well-known branded companies and so on and so forth. Part of it on the platform. So appreciate the diversity in the value chain and see if you can make the solutions work for everybody. Right? And foremost, I hope you do have fun with your friends as a team as you work through this case. We have tried to keep it. We have tried to keep the avenues open for you to go into multiple directions and have fun with various concepts on the supply chain, debate it out, work it out. Um, Hopefully, as you go through this case, you also develop some lasting friendships in your teams. So, all the best. We look forward to hearing from you at the various stages of the case competition. All the best, guys.
Thank you so much, Satyam. This seems very relevant to eCard today, and I'm sure some brilliant ideas are coming your way. Up next, we have Shailendra, who will be throwing light on the business challenge that revolves around the first time customers during the Big Billion Days. Over to you, Shailendra. Shailendra, if I can request you to unmute yourself, please.
Hey, hi Antonia. I think you can hear me. Okay, hi everyone. So thank you, Antonia, for the introduction. Very excited to be here and to be part of this. So as Antonia mentioned that today we are going to talk about how to onboard the offline customers to BBD. So I'll structure my thoughts in this way. So first we'll talk about what is this case study is about. Second, I'll talk about why it is important for Flipkart, and then maybe we'll I'll talk about the expectations from the solution, and maybe I'll give you a few suggestions as well. So you must have observed that today we are inundated with multiple online and offline sale events throughout the entire year. These sale events are more prevalent in the online ecosystem and have proven advantageous to all the e-commerce companies in terms of attracting new consumers, driving sales even during periods of low demand such as Shraddh, and obviously encouraging repeat purchases. Flipkart also has benefited from these events, and these events enabled Flipkart to contribute to India's growth story by delivering immense customer value. Now, as mentioned by Zen, as mentioned by Sneet, Flipkart pioneered Big Billion Day in 2014, and Big Billion Day is the most anticipated annual event in India. And since then, it has improved every year, delivering tremendous value to the millions of Indians who participated in it in any form. Big Billion Day has expanded customers base exponentially over the years and plans to do so again this year. So the problem statement, the core problem that we want to solve through WiRED is that how we can amplify the base of Big Billion Day by 2.5 times with this Big Billion Day, which is upcoming. And when comparing India's massive internet user base, which is around 700 million, to the current e-commerce user base of maybe 1/3 of the Indian users, the expectations is accurate in every way. So now coming to the second part, that why we choose this problem statement. As mentioned by my colleagues, that Flipkart aims to deliver value and empower every Indian citizen with the freedom to choose their own living. Big Billion Day is one such event that affects the lives of many, and one can only imagine the impact it will have on the people and businesses across the nation if the reach is amplified by this margin. To illustrate the scale of Big Billion Day, I'll share a few amusing facts. If you lined up all the mobile phones that we sold during last Big Billion Day, they would stretch from Delhi to Bombay. If you stack all the mattresses one over other, which were sold during last Big Billion Day, they would cover Mount Everest 3 times. So Big Billion Day has its own scale. Big Billion Day breaks its own records every year in terms of traffic, media partnerships, discounts. It creates frenzy, buzz, and excitement in the market during the festive season. Actually, for many, even they say that festive season starts with the beginning of Big Billion Day sale. Uh, it won't be untrue to say that a wish list is created in every household who has purchased earlier in Big Billion Day, and they seek early access to the sale. However, when I say that we want to amplify our reach, especially among the people who have uh, never transacted online, solving for growth is not that easy, and it presents its own set of obstacles. It will require disruptive innovation in multiple areas of commerce, such as technology, supply chain, and obviously marketing. Because what we are asking here is the ask is to change and alter the shopping habits of customers who has never shopped online. We would like him to come, browse online, and purchase online. It is a big ask for someone who has never purchased online. A customer who has barriers of trust, who is habituated to touch and feel and assisted purchase in a chaotic environment of streets and market. Uh, it is not an easy job. So it may require some out of box thinking, which we are asking you to do. It may require maybe few strategic alliances and unique interventions in terms of technology, marketing, pricing, in terms of supply chain that has never been attempted in Indian market. So with this case, we invite you to join hands with us to solve for India and become part of this unprecedented growth story. Now, to brief you about the expectations, and maybe if I can give you certain suggestions. Uh, Basically, you need to start looking around and understand that why people who have never shopped online yet, what are the current barriers that are preventing them from coming online and participating in this kind of mega annual events. Uh, you may also want to understand the intrinsic motivation to purchase from the offline stores and how they can be leveraged by online players. Basically, you also need to maybe segregate and divide Indian population into various segments, and optimize or choose target markets geographically and sociographically. And you may want to highlight the most potential cohorts of customers and right to win to Flipkart. So yeah, that's it on the case from my side. I wish everyone all the best, and over to you, Antonia.
Thank you, Shailendra. This is practically going to empower some dreams if we crack it. As Akriti couldn't join us due to some other pressing commitments, I would like to invite Nikhil to share what is in store for the HR track this year. The screen is yours, Nikhil.
Yeah, thanks, Antonia. Uh, Hello, folks. Really excited to meet you and keenly looking forward to some of the fresh perspectives that you all have to offer at the end of this program. At Flipkart, we've been really proud of our rewards offerings to our employees. We truly believe that we are ahead of the market in some of our offerings, and this dovetails into our overall talent strategy. This could be one of the reasons why we are treated as an employer of choice amongst the relevant talent groups. However, what we also understand is that post pandemic, there have been significant shifts on people's preferences on their expectations from the employer. We have also seen a phase where there was a really intensified war for talent. We've seen that phase of great resignation happening. We have also seen that the people have what people valued earlier has now taken a back seat, and what was not into consideration earlier has come to the forefront. So we have really seen major shifts happening in the last 2-3 years on what people expect from their employers, from their jobs, and how they want their relationship to continue with the employer. Also, externally, we've seen a lot of hyper personalization that has happened. Given this complete context, we are not really sure if one size fits all approach is the right approach from a rewards point of view. We are dabbling with some of the challenges around this. We are exploring options of looking at personalization from our rewards offerings. While Satyam mentioned appreciate the diversity in the overall value chain, it holds true from an employee perspective as well. We've seen a very varied and a diverse workforce within Flipkart. We have people, young graduates, starting off at the age of 22, 23, going all the way up to the age of 60. We've seen people across different generations, different Gen Zs and X, Y, Z, millennials, all coming together and working in a common setup, working towards a common goal. The idea of looking at personalization from rewards is that everybody has different expectations, and can we really cater to their needs? And the needs could change at different points in their employee life cycle. Hence, this is a problem that we are actually floating out to you. And the key expectation here is to do a research and understand if people do really value the level of personalization, and in terms of the reward offerings that a company gives to them. What we would also want to understand is that how do we really go ahead and implement this, because you are really catering to a very diverse workforce. Whilst you're doing all this, it is very important to keep in mind that while the focus is on employee preferences, we should also keep in mind some of the organizational, I would say, organization's goals in mind, because each element of rewards is there to serve a particular purpose that fits into an overall org strategy. How do we really enable this personalization for the employees without really compromising on the larger goals that some of these elements are needed to serve? So really looking forward to some of the fresh ideas here, and excited to hear out what you all have to offer later. Thank you.
Thanks, Nikhil. This seems pretty audacious and innovative. We all at Flipkart will be excited to see what ideas come our way. Moving on, we have Srinivas who will be throwing light on the product challenge in WiRED 7.0 and what we should expect to see from our participants when we talk about new age tech. Over to you, Srinivas.
Thanks, Antonia. Hey, everyone. Great to meet all of you. How many of you use or have used ChatGPT or Bard or generative AI over the past few months or almost every day? I'm guessing all of you in your college lives have found great use cases for using it, right? Be it helping you with assignments, maybe exams, be it writing an email. Very few products have seen the kind of hype and adoption that ChatGPT or generative AI has seen over the last few months. So this year's case study for product at WiRED is centered around generative AI and how Flipkart can benefit or leverage it to solve our customer and business problems. Like many people have mentioned so far, Flipkart's been at the forefront of e-commerce innovation in India, be it launching cash on delivery, no-cost EMI, affordability solutions, voice, vernacular, accessibility solutions. We've launched a bunch of things over the past few years, almost a decade now, to simplify e-commerce journeys for customers as well as sellers. And the idea has always been to leverage upcoming technologies that may not have reached a certain level of maturity to drive customer value and business outcomes at Flipkart scale. This generative AI wave is no different for us at Flipkart. We see it as another disruption and a huge one at that. And the idea is to leverage this technology to truly solve some customer or seller pain points across the journeys that they have with Flipkart as a platform and drive business outcomes or customer outcomes for the organization. We are also already seeing like great global adoption of this technology, right? I think a bunch of interesting use cases have already popped up over the last 6 8 months. Be it chatbots that one can talk with on Snapchat, Instacart's recipe generator, review summarization, third-party tools that have popped up on Amazon or competing websites, or even tools that write reviews or design outfits for customers, etc. Right? And tools that enable brands to create personalized banners at scale through generative image generation. At Flipkart, we're looking to see if Gen AI-led solutions can solve for our problems at scale. I'll maybe give you an example, right, of what you could potentially think about. Customers, when they come to Flipkart to shop or shop online, don't always have information about what they want to shop or how they should do their shortlisting. Today, for example, what TV should I buy? What refrigerator should I buy? I'm confused by the various specs that are available on Flipkart or any other website, right, for that matter. Offline, if you look at it, they're able to directly walk into a store, tell a salesperson, hey, I want a TV for my house. And the salesperson is able to tell them, these are the best TVs, ask a few relevant questions, enable them to shortlist what potentially could be a good TV choice, give them some value offerings in terms of no cost EMIs, some discounts, free installation, etc., and close that sale. Key part here is customer needn't necessarily know what the spec is. The salesperson is able to get that information out from the customer based on their articulated need state, right? But if you look at it online today, it's not that simple. While we've done a bunch of things to simplify the journey over the years, customers are expected to search a certain way. And unless they search with, say, a 65-inch LED TV, they don't really get results that appeal to them at that point of time. And the experience remains subpar for users. The user, after seeing the search results, then needs to do the hard work of going, comparing, reading reviews on, say, third-party websites, blogs, etc., and then figuring out, hey, this is the particular TV that I want. They need to then decide what is the payment mode, etc. So is there a way you could leverage generative AI to enable a hyper-personalized conversational experience that really almost just mimics the offline shopkeeper experience and helps our users start shopping? Similarly, there could be post-purchase experiences that could benefit from the advent of generative AI, where if the customer has a certain pain after having ordered a particular product on Flipkart, is there a way we could leverage Gen AI as a tech to solve for customer pain at scale? Similarly, Flipkart dabbles in travel. Flipkart has a catalog that sellers need to upload. Not all sellers are conversant with, say, writing a detailed English spec. And unless they do so, customers don't really purchase their products. So how can we leverage some of this to actually truly differentiate and solve for customer and business needs in a way that was not possible before the advent of generative AI is what the case is all about. I think few tips, right? While you build out your solutions, also think about how these should get powered both in the short as well as the long term. Some of these generative AI solutions that are available in the market today tend to be a little expensive, right? So how do you, as someone at Flipkart, think about the return on this investment? Let's say we are spending X dollars. What should be the return on investment framework around whether this is actually working out for Flipkart? Maybe also think about what all data about customers that Flipkart has access to, be it catalog, be it customer reviews, customer support conversations, seller uploaded images, catalog, etc. Pricing history of these products, and the Indian context that Flipkart has built up over last decade, right? And whether in the long run to be truly successful with generative AI, should Flipkart build on top of existing market solutions like ChatGPT, or should we look at in the long run build out our own solution, right? And as you put together your ideas, think open-ended and think audacious, right? Flipkart appreciates and values the ability to think out of the box and think audaciously. And we've left this problem space statement a little open-ended, right? And we don't want to box your thinking in a certain direction saying, hey, like solve for this particular problem. The idea is to see with this new innovative technology, what out-of-the-box innovative solutions emerge. And some of these could be unconventional. So yeah, good luck and looking forward to seeing all of your innovative solutions through generative AI coming our way.
Thank you so much, Srinivas, for sharing those interesting insights. I'm quite pleasantly surprised how unique yet relevant these case studies are. The participants are surely going to have a lot of fun working on some of the most powerful and impactful ideas. A big thank you to all of our leaders for joining us and sharing their expectations from the problem statements. We are sure it will inspire all the participants to give it their very best. We now move into the Q&A session. I would like to now invite Ayushi from the University Relations team at Flipkart to take over. Over to you, Ayushi.
Yeah, thank you so much, Antonia. And I'm sure all of you did get a lot of insights through this session. Most of you must be waiting for how the case studies are going to look like this year. And thank you so much for your overwhelming participation throughout the registration period of WiRED 7.0. It has been truly overwhelming to see all of you being interested and engaging with us throughout this time frame. I'll quickly take up some questions that we received while we floated a form prior to the event. And though there were a lot of them, I'll choose and pick the ones which must be relevant to most of you or were very repetitive in interest of time. So the first few questions were a lot around quiz. And instead of answering each one of them separately, what I'll do is I'll briefly explain you how the quiz is going to work. So the quiz round is the first round, which happens on the 13th of August, just after the registrations end, day after tomorrow. It is an entire day's window that is given to everyone, wherein they can select the suitable slot, 30-minute slot that works well for them, and give the quiz at that particular slot. Now, if you're working in teams and participating in teams, then each member of that team, be it a 2-member team or a 3-member team, will have to be, will have to be there to give the quiz, in the sense that each one of you will be separately appearing for that quiz. So there was a question around whether you need to sit together as a team and appear and submit the quiz. The answer is no, because each one of you will be separately submitting the quiz for themselves, and the average of the scores of all 3 members or all 2 members will be taken into consideration as the final score for evaluation. So you can choose different slots as per your particular schedule, and it will be completely all right. One team might not be required to give the quiz at the same time, right? More than that, the quiz is obviously different for each of the tracks, and hence if you are appearing and registering for more than one tracks, then you will be giving more than one quizzes. So if I as a participant registered for 3 tracks, then I'll be eligible and required to give the quizzes for all those 3 tracks separately, and I might choose those 30-minute slots throughout the 13th of August anytime when I feel it's convenient for myself, right? So that's how the quiz is going to work. What it actually is gonna ask you and test you on is 2. One is basic aptitude, which will include logical reasoning mostly, and secondly, the functional knowledge. Now, the aptitude will be a very small section of that quiz, but mostly the questions will be around your functional knowledge of the domain that you have applied for. So in case I've participated in the business track, then the questions will be mostly around terms or frameworks or latest things related to things that are happening in the business world, be it marketing or business development, and so on and so forth, and so on for the other tracks as well. So there was also some questions around how to prepare for the quiz. My recommendation would be that just read through the basic concepts, something that you should know while you start your MBA journey with about these domains. Something very basic as terms that are important and very frequently used, to some frameworks that are very popular, or something that has currently come up in the news related to some businesses, or something that is new happening in the industry in general in that particular domain. Probably that will help you prepare best for the quiz. The logical reasoning and the aptitude is anyway something that we all prepare for when we join B school, so that is not something that you might require a separate preparation on. It will be a 30-minute quiz with 20 questions, timed, each question timed at 1.5 minutes max. And the scores will be calculated both on the accuracy and the speed in which the questions are submitted, right? The answers are submitted. So that's about the quiz round. I hope I answered all the queries regarding the quiz. I'll just scroll through and see if there was anything else that I missed. Uh, Another question was around that if a team member does choose to step back after, say, round one, what will happen? So I'll briefly answer that. That once you register, the team is actually finalized, and we don't allow any changes in the team construct. And hence, if you registered as a three-member team, the three people gave the quiz, and then one of the member chose to not work with you in the case study, you are free to take a call and submit your solutions with just two people's effort. But we'll be taking into account all three members. And once you present with only two members, we'll just add the third name as per our records. And that is something that you'll have to take onus of, that when you registered as a team, you may succeed or fail as a team, and hence all three members in our record will be still there as part of the team, irrespective of who's actually working. So that's about the people who might choose to step out from a team after that. There is no so I just saw a question. There's no negative marking in the quiz. This is only about speed and accuracy, based on which the scores will be allocated. Another question was around how live projects are gonna work, which I received. So live projects is first, like, something that we have plugged in through WiRED for the first time. Until now, only internships and full-time roles were offered. How live projects will work is that post the results are announced for the quiz, we'll host a very brief LinkedIn activity where all of you who have registered and appeared for the quiz will be required to post something based on our queue. Whoever participates in that activity and comes up with something which is very unique, something that impresses us or catches our eye, will be offered live projects, irrespective of the fact that you qualify for further rounds or not. So that is something that is immensely I mean, I don't know, incentivizing everyone who did show any interest in Flipkart WiRED and, was trying to give a chance. For various reasons, you might not be able to proceed with the competition, but you can surely take away great opportunities of live projects. The live projects will also be offered in all the four domains that WiRED operates in, which is product, supply chain, business, and HR. That was about live projects. I'll just take up a linked question. There was someone asking me if the in the internships and full-time roles will be offered to only the grand finalists. The answer is no. How internships work is that post the three slider, which is only the second round, any first year student as part of a team or a solo participant who makes a submission which is decent enough is offered an interview opportunity for internship. So just after the second round, once you qualify the quiz round, if you make a submission as a first year student which is decent enough and it clears our basic threshold, then you are offered an internship opportunity, and the interviews happen right after it. So which means that 1st to 10th of September we'll try to close all those interviews and finalize our internship offers, which is before your actual placement season starts for internships. And you'll continue with the competition separately, but the hiring will happen right after the second stage. The full-time roles, though, are given to people who are in the semi-finalist stage and the national finalist, obviously. Everyone from the second year in these two stages. So not everyone. In the semi-finalist stage, we do have, again, a threshold of the basic kind of quality of submissions that we do expect. Anyone who's meeting that mark and is a second-year student, a part of the team or a solo participant, will be eligible for a PPI for full-time role. And all the national finalists will obviously be a part of that list as well. How the roles are going to work. So there were two questions around what the roles are going to be like if you join as an intern or as a full-time at Flipkart. They are going to be in the four domains that WiRED operates in. If you are an intern, you will be a summer intern for 2 months, working on a specific project for 8 weeks, and receiving a stipend for the same in either of these four domains. And as a full timer, you will be joining us as a management trainee who goes through a program of 1 year of different stints of 6 months each. and a lot of cross functional projects for holistic learning. And post that, you are finally allocated to one team based on your career aspirations and org requirements. So but the roles are again in these four domains itself: HR, supply chain, business, and product. So there might be cases when we do have roles only in some of these domains, or in all of them, but that is something that we'll be communicating as and when the time is right. So that was about the roles. There was one question around what are the can we choose a what will these problem statements. Yeah, so someone asked in the chat today if the problem statements will be shared. Yes, the case studies will be released and live on the Unstop website post the quiz round, and you can access them in detail in terms of deliverables and what are the criteria for evaluation, so on and so forth. So they'll be live on Unstop after you appear for the quiz. If you register in the business track, will you get the PPI in the same track? Yes. So in all probability, whichever track you appear in or register for or qualify for will also be the track that you get the PPI in. In case we do have some situations where some of these tracks do not have enough roles, we might give you an option to choose from any of the other roles which are available. But mostly this is what principle says, that we'll be following the same track, same PPI, same role of being offered in whichever one you participate, irrespective of what your specialization in your MBA curriculum is, right? So that's about that. How easily we can crack the quiz? I think I've already answered that for the quiz round. So I hope I've taken every question that is here on the chat. One question that I see that I missed is what is the top 50 list about, right? You must have seen this year that WiRED was not just about EGVs or internships and full-time roles, but also about life projects, which I talked about, also about recognition in all ways possible. So we'll also be recognizing the top 30 campus winners after the 3-slider round, and not just announcing the semi-finalists. We'll also be rewarding them for that matter. Another unique thing that we have introduced as part of these incentives that you have through WiRED this year is that after the semi-finale round, we'll be releasing a list of top 50 people who just stood out throughout the competition. So anyone who participates and qualifies after the quiz round in WiRED 7.0 will be evaluated individually based on what they bring to the table in terms of thought, or the way they answer question, or the way they present, or anything else that just stands out. We'll be collating all these scores throughout the rounds and finally coming out with a list of top 50 people who we think are the most premium talent in B schools today who participated in WiRED 7.0. And this list will be published at all the relevant platforms, including Unstop, which will help you with a great profile point, something that you can really leverage from as a brand which WiRED has built over years. And this is our way to appreciate everyone who put in that extra effort, goes that extra mile for Flipkart WiRED while they participate in it. So that's about the top 50 list. Certificates will be offered to everyone who reaches the semi-finale round. So that there was a question around that, so I just thought I'll answer that as well. If there's anything else that you would like me to take, I'll be happy to answer. So there was someone who asked, can the same team register for different track? Yes. So what we are trying as a construct, what we are allowing is that once you register as like when you register on Unstop for Flipkart WiRED, you will be allowed to participate in each of the tracks separately, and hence you can choose to have the same team or different teams for each of these tracks which you want to apply for. So that's about that. During the quiz round, yes, I did answer that. Every member needs to submit the quiz. So it's not a presentation that needs to be submitted, only the quiz that needs to be answered on the Unstop website. There's only MBA students. It's open to both the years of study for MBA students and also the MBA executive programs, not undergrad students yet. What's the theme? I think we all talked in length about the theme. It's ideas that empower dreams. I think you can read about it in detail on the Unstop website, because we are a little short on time and I like to focus on things which we have not covered yet. So someone asked to repeat about live projects. If time permits, I'll do that. So no, we do not have 30 winners for each campus. WiRED is open to all B schools pan India, and this time we have also opened our like registrations for international campuses, 2 of them. So we are trying to maximize our reach, and hence more than 500 odd campuses register for us, and it won't be possible for us to recognize winners in each one of them. We'll be recognizing the top 30 campus winners in terms of top 30 teams who top their own campuses. So 30 teams in all, or participants, because we have solo participation as well this year, who will be recognized as their own campus winners, right? Is there any other question? I've already talked about quiz. So everyone who registers is eligible to give the quiz and is required to give the quiz to move to the next round. And we take a call based on the score distribution. Around 2,000 to odd teams, more than that, sometimes less than that, move to the next round. Quiz will not have quants. It will have logical reasoning and basic aptitude. So I've already talked about roles and negative marking. I think I've mostly answered all. Where will the live project take place? And yeah, so repeating last time about the live projects before we end this session. Live projects will be offered through not the competition, but a separate LinkedIn activity that will be hosted post the quiz round for everyone who participated in the quiz round. If you do participate in that activity, and if your submission catches our eye, we'll be offering live projects, and especially to campuses who have strong levels of engagement with us throughout that activity. The live projects will be look something very similar to an 8-week internship, but only in a remote setup. So you will be working on a project dedicatedly, and be working with a team at Flipkart who's handling that project inside. But you will be also, you will not be at the Flipkart premises. You will be working in a remote setup, because you will have your curriculum and your classes as a student. And the only difference between an internship and live project is that you specify the number of hours you can dedicate, because you're also attending classes and have your entire curriculum. So it might be, say, 2 to 3 hours a week, or say it might extend to 5 hours a week, depending on how much are you able to commit, and also how much the project requires you to commit. So based on that commitment, you will be working from your own colleges itself, with someone in the Flipkart team, and you might travel to Flipkart offices if required, say for the final presentation or to understand some processes before you start working. But most of it will be something that will be done online. So that's how live projects are going to work, and we'll be offering it to anyone who participates in the quiz, irrespective of if they qualify for further rounds, as long as they have a good enough engagement with us on the LinkedIn activity that we host post the quiz, which is on 16th. Right. So I hope I've answered everyone. The PPT is to be shared. No. So if you're participating as a team, the team submits all the presentations, and the participation certificate is provided on an individual basis after the everyone who reaches the semi-final round. I think we are out of time, and I've answered most of your questions. We'll be happy to answer more. If you have any questions, please redirect them through the Unstop website, and we'll make sure that you have your answers. But before I end this session, so yeah, PPT is supposed to be submitted on the Unstop website. Before I end this session, I'll just remind all of you, whoever has joined, firstly, thank you for taking out this time. And tomorrow is the last date to register for WiRED. This is your chance at Flipkart to get to realize how we operate at the scale we do, with the complexities we do. And I hope you do get a chance to empower all those million dreams outside, and also empower your own dreams of maximizing your careers through WiRED. Hopefully hopefully all of you will participate, and I'll also find some of these names in the grand finale this year. Thank you so much. This was Ayushi. I hope all of you get WiRED, and with that, I'll hand it over to Antonia. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much, Ayushi. Audience, if you have any further questions, you can send them to support@unstop.com and the Flipkart team will get back to you. With that, we have come to the end of this very exciting virtual kickoff event for Wired 7.0. A huge thank you to our leaders for making time to join us here today and to all you participants for your enthusiasm and your spirit. This is your chance to make a mark and empower your dreams as well as others. So, are you ready to get wired? Before I log off, here is a reminder to all the participants. The deadline to register is 12th August, that is tomorrow. So do not miss the opportunity to register now if you haven't already. The quizzes will start simultaneously at 12 noon on the 13th of August. Please log on to unstop.com. You will also find a link sent to your registered email ID. All the very best, everyone. Let's get wired. Remember, it's your ideas, your dreams, your learnings maximized. On behalf of all of us at Flipkart, we wish each and every one of you all the very best and hope you have a great experience at Wired 7.0. This is Antonia Albuquerque signing off for the evening. Cheers and have a great day.